already about 6 people now.
Yeah, I think
So I think we can just start. We don't need to delay them further. While
yes,
others will
yes,
join,
yes,
others will join in the process.
yes, yes, yes. Okay, okay, doctor. Let me introduce the session to you as well to the
Yes,
participant
please.
that we have.
Yes, please.
Good morning to everyone. Welcome to the Research Capacity Development under the Postgraduate School at the University of Johannesburg. My name is Kosie Tunduli. I'll be the moderator for this session. Our facilitator for today's session is Dr. Lukman. Uh, Firstly, I would like to ask everyone to mute your mics during the session. And if you have a question or any suggestion or opinion, because this is a discussion session, like you are allowed to share your own experience, to share with other colleagues as well, to engage in the session. So during the session, you are allowed to stop the facilitator, ask question, whatever question you might have. But we kindly ask you to mute your mics so that it won't disturb the facilitator during the session. Um, about our facilitator today, Dr. Luckman is currently the Vice Dean, Faculty of Science, and a senior lecturer in the Department of Chemistry. Obafemi Alowowo. Please forgive me for pronunciation. At Nigeria. He is also a senior research associate of the Department of Chemical Sciences at Faculty of Science at the University of Johannesburg, South Africa. He is a university lecturer and a researcher with more than 10 years experience. He has a PhD in chemistry from the Northwest University in South Africa. He was a postdoctoral fellow at the Northwest University and the University of Johannesburg. He is an active researcher and science scholar with more than 80 published articles and book chapters in highly rated peer-reviewed journals and publishing outlets. Colleagues, this is just a summary. If I've missed anything, and then like some files are very long, so just summarize everything. So I think, Doctor, you can now share your presentation and looking forward to participants to engage with you, with us as well. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Intuli, and I'm happy to be here this morning. I thank you once again for always being there to assist in moderating the session. I welcome colleagues. I'm Lukman, just as Mr. Intuli has introduced. And I look forward to a very interactive session this morning because this really, the topic of today is something that I believe I cannot really address it alone, as I need feedback from you. I need to know your experience. I need to know what stage you are in collaborating with people because collaboration in science and even other areas of academic really is something that is very germane, as we believe that when you collaborate, you are bound to having a more robust research output and also having a better result from a project. So in that regard, let me start by sharing my screen. Uh, okay. Oh yes. Okay, yes, I believe the screen is being shared now. Kindly confirm if you can see it. So, the topic is how to find the research collaborators. Yes, please, can you confirm you can see the slide?
Yes,
Yes,
we can see
doctor,
it.
we can see you.
All right, okay, thank you. And as we get along, really, I will prefer that we have some workshop questions where people can actually give feedback. So I think in order to do that, I'm supposed to go back and forth, going to the poll and all that. So please, if I do that, just pardon me. So, colleagues, it's my pleasure once again to be with you, and we are to discuss this together, finding research collaborators. I believe it's going to be an interesting and interactive session. In ruminating over this, I thought of what could be the learning outcome for the workshop. What exactly are those things that I think are the basic or the fundamentals that people may be looking forward to understanding as far as this topic is concerned? I thought of the essence of collaboration. Why this came up to the in the course of ruminating on the topic is that I believe before you can do anything at all, there must be a reason for it. You must understand why you are embarking on it. So you have to understand really what is the essence of collaborating. Why do I have to collaborate? It is only when I know the value that I want to invest in it. And then if I want to invest in it, after understanding the essence of collaboration, how do I find a collaborator? Where is the starting point? How do I get one? Or how will collaborators find me? If I would be the one that is of value to a researcher, how would they find me? And then if I get a collaborator and we embark on a project together, on a research work together, how do I ensure that I keep such collaboration? How do I maintain such collaboration? So all these are the things that I highlighted as the learning outcome. And I would also like to start by introducing what research collaboration is. That research collaboration is considered to be an agreement between two or more research groups or partners to work together on a project. I've made it as broad as it is because most of the time it could be a collaboration of researchers, individuals coming together to work on a certain project or research. It could be a collaboration between research groups in University of Johannesburg or a particular department or unit of the university, collaborating with some other units or departments in the same university, or it could be inter-university, or it could be inter-industry. It could also be between university and industry, and so on and so forth. It could actually be a very broad thing. But before I go further, really, I would like to ask us some pre-workshop questions that I think could assist us in understanding why this is important further. And so in doing that, I will just appeal to you that you respond to the poll questions that I'll be bringing forward. The first one is, have you have you been invited?
Sorry, Dr. Lockman, to interrupt.
Oh, yes, please.
We can't see your screen here.
Okay.
Are you still sharing?
Oh, no, I stopped sharing. Okay, can I share at the same time while posting the poll questions?
Yeah, you can.
Oh, I can. Okay. Uh, okay, probably I don't know how to do that. So let me continue with the poll questions. Then I will go back to the screen.
Okay, no problem. You can
Yes,
continue.
I appealed to the participants earlier actually that the screen may go back and forth while
Okay.
posting the question. Yes. So the first question is, I want to know the percentage actually of the participants that have got the following experiences. So, have you been invited for collaboration before? I'm posting that question as a yes or no question, and then I'd like to see your responses. Okay, so we've got 9 responses so far. All right. Okay, this is interesting. So quite a number of people actually have been invited for collaboration before. All right. Okay, so that is about 10 to 2. Okay. We have no responses from 5 people, so I could as well assume that probably they are neither here nor there. Oh yes, so if you have been invited, it's also possible that probably you have invited somebody else for collaboration. So in that case, have you also invited a collaborator before? Okay. Oh, that's interesting. All right, so apparently we've been invited more than we are inviting people. So we need to think together what could be the reason for that. So in this case, it is yes of 3, 9 of no. All right. So in doing this, then we need to understand what could be the reason why we are being invited, or what could be the reason why we need to invite someone, or why we have not invited. So I will ask again. Okay, I have needed, or let me coin this as I have needed an expertise in an area. I've needed an expertise in an area to enrich my research. Okay, so just to know whether you've needed an expertise to enrich your work before, or you can do it all alone, you don't need any expertise to add more value to the work. Okay, so virtually everybody, one way or the other, has needed somebody else to add value to their work. And then now that now brings to the question, why have we not invited them if we have actually needed expertise? Because now in the poll question 2, we got more no than yes, meaning that many people have not actually invited somebody else to participate in their research work. But then we realized that we need them. So why have we not been inviting them? Okay, so in this case now I got a 12 of yes and 0 of no. And then let me also go to this question that I've needed. Okay, let's say specialized equipment. Have you needed specialized equipment for certain experimentation before? Okay. I have needed a specialized equipment, actually, a specialized equipment. Let me update that. I have needed a specialized equipment for certain experimentation before that you have not got an access to. Okay, so this is interesting because it's actually balancing. Um, since quite a number have not needed any special equipment, they've not got access to. All right, so perhaps the rest of us really do not have much to say regarding that. Okay, and then finally, because this will now tell me the reason why we have not been inviting collaborators. So I want to ask if any one of us have got some reservations for collaboration. And probably maybe in the course of the workshop, you will tell me what your reservation is actually about. I have some reservations, or I've got some reservations for collaboration. I mean, I feel somehow I don't want to invite people, or for whatever reason, I just feel like, oh no, I feel scared or something. Okay. So in that regard, then those of us that have reservations then can share your reservations with us in the course of the workshop. All right, so I think I can stop that there also. I've got, okay, still coming in. I got 5 for yes and 6 for no. So we have quite a number of people actually that have reservations for inviting collaborators or for responding to invitation. Excuse me, please, for responding to invitation for collaboration. So yes, having done all this, then I can go back to sharing the screen. Okay, yes. So having got all these your responses, questions, then I think it will guide me better in taking your questions later on, and also in putting words into some of the points that I've put together on the slide. So, like I said before, that the research collaboration could be interdisciplinary, it could be multidisciplinary, it could be interdisciplinary, or it could be transdisciplinary. Many people usually have issues understanding what this means. When a research collaboration is multidisciplinary, it brings together knowledge from different disciplines that will stay within a particular boundary. And when it is interdisciplinary, it brings about synthesis and harmonization of links between disciplines, in order to have a coordinated and a coherent goal being achieved together. In a transdisciplinary collaboration, you integrate natural, social, and health sciences, all sorts of areas of research and therefore including humanity. You integrate them together, and that is going to be transboundary. So if you are going to do a research collaboration, you really need to understand what kind of boundary are you setting for your research, such that you will be able to know who and who to invite, and then who and who can come into the work. In the end, I say collaboration must be symbiotic, because it must be something that both sides will benefit from. It should be a win-win thing if you actually want it to be long-lived. What is the essence of collaboration, really? Why do we have to collaborate? And then I start by saying that the first thing should be that you should have good collaborators, and that is when you will appreciate the essence of collaboration. So before we talk of some of those benefits that are derivable from collaboration, it is also important to underscore the fact that collaboration must be established for beneficial purposes, and so it should be with good collaborators. So this is in line with the axiom that two good heads are better than one. I wouldn't know if two bad heads will also be better than one, but I think I agree with the axiom that two good heads are better than one, because it is when those heads are good and they come together in order to achieve the same goal that we realize that, oh, yes, we are getting something better than what an individual would have done in the first instance. So some people actually will even go further to say, even for two goods to be better than one, they must agree mutually in order to achieve common goal. So if two good heads are coming together and they are working in parallel, then they are still not likely to achieve a goal, because then if they are working in parallel, they are not targeting a common goal. So in this regard, I highlighted the benefits of collaboration as follows. That's one, there must be synergy of ideas. For people to come together and actually work as collaborators, their ideas must be synergized, must be towards the same objective. Uh, then, in collaborating, you get answers from different experts or different perspectives. In other words, you are going to have a kind of robustness of ideas. Then your project is going to be better executed. You are going to have an enhanced quality of research. The way you write will be different from the way I write. The way you see things will be different from the way I see things. And then by the time we put together our thoughts and perspectives, then we are going to have better projects. We are going to have an enhanced quality of research, because you could do the research better, I could do the thinking better, I could come up with a formulation of method better, but then you are the kind of person that enjoys staying in the lab, or you have an expertise or a training in an area that I do not have, and then we can put all those together. While you do your own very well, I do my own very well. We put everything together. We are going to have richer contributions to knowledge, because in the end, our research go out to people. It's going to benefit a community of people. And so that community, what exactly are they going to benefit from our research if it is not rich enough? And though, when there's a problem, we usually see in the research world that some people must have, in a way, contributed some solutions to the problem before. So what is making our home better? Why are we contributing additional solution to that problem or challenge? Have we made it actually better than the way it was? So it has to be a richer contribution to knowledge. Then network building. When you do research collaboration, you are building a network for yourself, and then it's going to enhance your feasibility. How does this happen? Because when you collaborate with people, they know you here and there. It is not just about your local environment alone, not just in your department, not just in your faculty, not just within your research unit. Then people begin to know you university wide and even outside your university, within your country, outside your country, and then before you know it, you could actually become a global researcher, or what some people call an internationally acclaimed researcher. So in that regard, you are going to have enhanced feasibility, because even the output of your research work will be published in outlets that people can see everywhere in the world. And when you have this kind of thing, then you have recognitions here and there, which is going to advance your career. You are going to have confidence and credibility. In the end, you will realize that you have increased productivity, because what you are going to do alone, now many of you are coming together to do it together and even better, and then you are going to have better efficiency. In the overall, I say that research collaboration in essence is going to actually crystallize success. Uh, Sorry, please, colleagues, as I'm sharing the screen, I notice actually that I do not see what is happening behind. So if you are having a question or something, probably you are raising up and I may not see it. So you can just stop me as I'm talking, please. Yes, how do you get your research collaborator? The first thing is you have to be sure. You have to be sure of the reason why you need a collaborator. You have to define what you need from a collaborator. Usually, I believe in collaborating with people. We want somebody that can add value to the project or the research. It is about somebody who can plug in the missing piece or the missing link. And so that's why I brought up this puzzle, that yes, you are just looking for something, you don't know where it is, or you even know where it is, you don't know where to insert it, and so on and so forth. It is all about that person that is going to add value to the work. This idea of bastardizing research collaboration that is happening, being ventured into in some parts of the world by some people, that now we have what some people term as gift authorship, especially in research publication. That is not what research collaboration is all about, you know. So to actually collaborate, you need to understand the ethics of research very well. You must be somebody that is very ethical in your conduct, because in collaborating with people, there are so many things that will be shared. You must even have some level, a very high level of confidentiality. So you don't just share your work or your results with people, or somebody sharing with you, and then you begin to now hide your home from people. You must first of all have some level of trust in people, and at the same time have very good ethical behavior. So it is about who can plug in the missing piece. You need to identify that person, and you need to identify the piece that person is to plug in. What is the contribution that I need from people before I can invite them to collaborate with? So clearly define your reason for needing a collaborator. What could be that reason? Ask yourself, why am I seeking a collaborator? What do I need from that collaborator? Is there a particular time frame for me to get contribution from that collaborator? If I identify that person as the one that could deliver on that collaboration within a defined or within a specific time frame? Is it that I lack rather an access to resources or specialized equipment that I think is only that person that can provide? Where is that equipment? Is it available within my locality? Why is it only that person that can provide access to it? Is it that if I have access to it, I will not be able to operate it? Is that the collaborator that can operate the equipment? For instance, in some areas, we have seen a situation whereby for those in sciences, especially chemical sciences, you finish your synthesis and you want to do X-ray crystallography. You send to a crystallographer who happen to be a researcher. The crystallographer will tell you, yes, I want to take this as my own collaboration to the work. I'm not going to charge you for it. Or the crystallographer may decide that, okay, you are going to pay me. If you are paying the crystallographer, then probably all the crystallographer is getting from it is just the money. And so that person is not a collaborator on that project. So we really have to define what the collaboration is all about. Okay, so if it is just that, okay, I pay for you, you render a service, that is not really a research collaboration per se. Oh, okay, let me take this as my own collaboration to the work. I'm going to handle the equipment. I have access to the equipment. I'm going to make the results available and interpret it. Then you continue to do the writing. That is a collaboration. So is it that you lack access to some of those things that you could use to have a very robust research? Then do you need special or complementary skills or experience in certain area? Do you need help in getting certain data sets? For people that work on population and things like that, maybe internally displaced people due to war or due to some disasters and things like that, you need data on them in order to come up with some humanity or social science research. But then it's going to be an African-centered thing. You are in South Africa, you need data from Gambia, you need data from Cameroon, from Zimbabwe, and so on and so forth. Do you have people on the field, or do you want to go and do all those on your own? If there are people in that area also working in those other countries, why don't you just collaborate with them? And that's why we said in the end, by the time you work together, you are going to deliver on that project faster and better. Is there any other ancillary reasons why you think you need to collaborate with people? So all these put together, you have to clearly define them before you could actually search for a collaborator, or before you could conclude that you need a collaborator. So as a researcher, we don't just wake up one day and say, let me also start collaborating with people. No, it has to be well defined. And so that is why I brought this up. So where do I get a collaborator from? I say it's all about valuable contributions. So to get your collaborator, you must identify that individual as somebody that is going to bring value into the work. So and now I'm picking this from the perspective of co-authorship on a research paper, that you probably have a potential collaborator already. For those of us that have said that we have not been invited to collaborate, or we have not asked people to collaborate with us, it's our reason that we don't know who to call, or we don't know who to contact. If that's our reason, then we don't know where to start from. So a good starting point is that if you have actually cited an article before in your writing, or you have read an article in your literature search, and you realize that article is very rich, that it contains what you would like to do, but you couldn't do on your own. Probably you don't have expertise in the area, or you do not have access to the tool that was used in executing that part of the work. If you are reading an article of such richer than your own, then you already have a prospective or a prospective collaborator. That is the kind of person you can contact. Or is something missing in an article that you are reading, that you feel that, oh, if they have done it this way and that way, it will actually be better, it will be enriched. You are reading an article and you realize, oh, these people, oh no, look at this researcher, oh no, they've not done the right thing. Oh, look at this researcher, this will have looked at this from this angle and that angle. But then you realize that they couldn't do it. If that is the case, then you've got a potential collaborator that you can invite. You just write the collaborator in a very polite and professional way, that I read your article so and so and so, and then I would like to work with you, as I see that you can bring this and that into it. If you won't mind, I would like to contribute in that area. And then you wait and see what the response will be from such prospective collaborator. So this is the starting point, really. If you have identified something missing in the work that you can do or add to the work, that's your potential collaborator. If you have identified something very good in the work that you feel you will not be able to achieve on your own, that's your potential collaborator. So where do we find one? There are several sources, really, and it is all about your network. In building network, there are various places where you can get collaborators from. And I usually say this, that you do not get your collaborators, or you do not build your network overnight. It is something you build over time. It could be with colleagues within your institution. Who are those people that you think you can work with? Who are those people you think can add value to your work? Look for them. Book an appointment with them, link up with them in whatever way you could within the university system, within the institution. Set up a meeting with them and discuss your research idea with them, and let them know why you have searched them out. Let them know why you think they can contribute to the work. Is it a colleague within your professional association? Is it within South African Academy of Chemical Institute? Is it South African Young Academy, and so on and so forth? Is it within SACI, within SciAD, and so forth? Is it within ASAF? So you need to get those people from wherever they are. So look within your professional associations. Are there people that you can actually work with? Are there people that you feel will contribute to your work, to enrich it? Are there people that you feel you can also add value to their work, that such that if you invite them and you tell them you could do ABC to enrich their work, they'll be glad to do that. Those are your potential collaborators. Search for them within the professional association. We meet collaborators at conferences. See, the essence of conferences is to meet people, to tell the world what you have done, to also see what people are doing, what is in vogue in that particular area of research. And so you realize that people have actually gone far beyond where you think you are, or you realize that you are also far ahead of some people. And so when you come across those people of different backgrounds or diverse background at the conferences, those are the people you should collaborate with. Get their contacts, send them an email, let them know what you are doing, ask them what exactly they can contribute in that regard. They could be from the academics, they could be from the industry. Your research collaborator could be from the research or professional databases. You can search them out from ResearchGate, you can search them out from LinkedIn, and so on and so forth. You know, the internet world has actually made that easier now. You will see what people are doing by going to their ResearchGate page. You will see what people are doing by searching them out on Google Scholar, on Scopus, and so on and so forth. So if you do that, then you're also going to have your research collaborators from research databases that people have put online. You can get your collaborator also from the articles you referenced or from the articles you reviewed. And that is why I mentioned earlier that really to be a good collaborator, you must have some level of trust in people. Do not be the one that have a trust issue. And also you must have a very good ethical behavior, confidentiality before you can do that. Because when people send manuscript to you to review for them, there are things you can pick from there. You have to critique it. And in criticizing it, you have to express your genuine, your sincere opinion about the article or the manuscript. And in expressing your opinion, you will see where you are actually better than the individuals, and you will see where they are better than you. If such a manuscript is eventually published as an article, you can write the author. Let the author know that you came across that article, you've read A, B, C about it, and you would like to work with them. Whether it is in the area of their deficiency that you are interested in extending or improving, or it is in the area of strength in the work that you also like to bring into your own work. So write them and then invite them as collaborators. How do we then attract collaborators? Making collaborating with you irresistible. You know, in working with people, it is like actually winning a partner. You have to ensure that you have a very clear idea of what you want to bring to the table. It's not just that, yes, I want to collaborate with you, but then I don't know what you are doing and I don't know what I can add. No, you can't attract a collaborator in that way. But even you as an individual, what do you think will magnetize you to people? Why will people search you out? Why would they bring you into their work? Make sure that anytime you do your work, there is a clear research idea that is expressed, and do quality research work. Publish it in reputable outlets. You know, many a times I receive invitation from people to collaborate with them simply because they've read my work. I don't know them from anywhere. You just write. We've read so and so about your work, and we have seen that you did ABC in that work, and would like to collaborate with you so that you can also do the same thing or replicate that kind of contribution you've made in that work to our own project. And then why am I having that? That comes up because there is an idea that is clearly expressed. There is some level of quality in the work, and the paper has been published in a reputable outlet that is also visible, that people have seen it. Then make sure you have very good public relation with people. And this actually transcends even this topic. In establishing a network, in having a network and keeping a network, you have to ensure that you keep a good PR, a good public relation. Do not wait until you need that person before you send an email to the person. Do not wait until you need that person urgently before you then begin to ask for advice or to ask for contribution or to ask for assistance. Ensure that you build your network ahead of time that you are going to need it. And in doing all this, you have to ensure you respect people mutually, earn your own respect from them, and also deal with them professionally. Do not turn down people. Do not look down on people. Of course, we have different background. We have different areas of strength and weaknesses. Where you are better, I may be weak. Where I'm better, you may be weak. But then do not see my own weakness as something that will not be improved upon. That is why I'm taking you as a collaborator. You had your strength to hit to make it better. You don't need to then begin judgmental about me. And then I feel inferior. I feel uncomfortable collaborating with you. And then you won't be able to keep me as a collaborator. How do we keep or maintain collaboration? Let's always ensure that we make our objectives clear, because in keeping a collaborator, we want that fellow to know what he or she is going to bring onto the table. So if that person does not have a clear idea of what our research work is all about, he or she will not know what to collaborate about, what to add to the work. And we have to be committed to providing complementary contributions. I don't just get on board as a collaborator and then I keep quiet or I go to sleep while other people are working. They are sending email, I'm not responding. They are asking questions, I'm not giving answer. I'm not even providing any insight. And yet I want to say I'm a collaborator. No, you have to ensure you provide complementary contributions. When people have provided ideas and you see what you think you could add something to it. Even when you do not have a contribution immediately, go over what people have done. Let them know that you are also going through it. Provide some words, add some thoughts to it. You've got to build trust. I think I've overemphasized that over and over. Build trust, respect confidentiality, and do not exaggerate your strength. What you could not do, do not make it to look so bogus that you could do over that. Because at the end of the day, people believe so much in you, they want to get a lot from you, but they are getting so little or nothing. And then they are going to lose that trust in you. They are going to lose that trust in you, and you are going to lose respect. In that regard, that collaboration will not last. You won't be able to keep or maintain it. Avoid use. Do not let it be like it is only that person that is doing all the work, or it is only you that is doing all the work. If you are doing all the work alone, and yet you are saying you are doing a collaborative research, you realize that you get tired, you get exhausted. You will ask yourself, what is the essence of working with this fellow that could not even add anything to the work? Or if you are the one not adding anything, the other fellow will feel like, oh, I'm being abused. I'm the one that will write, I'm the one that will conceive idea, I'm the one that will go to the lab, I'm the one that will develop method. Why am I collaborating? Let me just stay on my own. Because at the end of the day, you are not adding any value to the work. Then avoid misrepresentation, avoid exploitation. Do not extort people in the process of collaborating with them. And always bring something to the collaboration table. Be humble and be open to accept superior ideas. Like I said, you can't be right at all time, and I can't be wrong at all time. And so, if you are wrong at a time, accept it judiciously with open mind. And if I'm wrong at a point, let me also be open to you that yes, you have a superior argument in this area. Oh, yes, my friend, I give it to you. Manage authorship position maturely. Why I brought this up is because of some recent happenings in some universities that I've interacted with, where I realized that some policies of the university actually discourage collaboration. Some policies of university discourage multiple authorship. And then you begin to ask this question. If a collaborator invites me to participate in their project, which is their original idea, even though I'm going to add value to it to enrich it, is it that I will ask them ab initio, if we publish the work, how are we going to arrange authorship? Then in that case, you are putting the cart before the horse. Such collaboration is not likely to last because before you even venture into the work, you have begun to start raising some questions that probably could not be sustained. So be fair in agreeing to position of authorship. Be fair with yourself, be fair with the collaborator. Let that be dictated by the level of contributions to the work, and be sincere with every other person. And in that case, you will be able to keep and maintain collaboration. So in this regard, I think I would just like to ask questions from you based on the poll that we had initially, those 5 questions in the poll, which I believe some of the talk have addressed. And then I want us to take this further by having interactions. So, colleagues, thank you very much once again for listening. And then I welcome interactions, contributions from you. So you can do that by raising up hand, uh, and then I can ask you to unmute and then talk to colleagues. Thank you. Yes, Dr. Sumaya.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Dr. Khan, for that interesting presentation. I would just
Thank you,
like to
Doc.
find out what is your advice to emerging researchers that are still developing their research niche? How would we go about beginning the research collaboration journey? Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Sumaya. For emerging researchers, really, it could be challenging. And sincerely, I would say the starting point will be where you've been trained. The starting point would be your immediate laboratory. So you have people within your lab that you work with, including your mentor, your supervisor. So if that relationship is the one that is not too costly, that's a good starting point. You have people that you work with in your lab, they're still working in that area. Which of them do you think has been so hardworking that you think if you work with, we also project you faster? And then after that, you begin to look at some of those things that I've highlighted before, meet people at conferences. As an emerging researcher, we encourage that you always ensure you attend conferences and make sure while attending a conference, you have something to present. Even if it is just a work that is midway done, it doesn't mean that you are going to solve all the problems before you attend the conference. But the idea is that you are strongly encouraged to attend conferences because then you will see people that are doing things in your area, you see people that are doing it better or even below standard that you can collaborate with. And when you attend conferences, don't just attend it without meeting people, talk to them, exchange contacts, and ensure that you follow up on the contacts. So that would be a very good starting point. And so once again, your starting point, if the relationship is not strained in your laboratory, will be to start with the people you have worked with, people within your group. I hope that addressed your question, Dr. Sumaya. Yes, any
Yes, it
other
has. Thank
questions?
you.
Oh, all right, thank you, Doc. Yes, next, please. Yes, we still have some time. I've kept the talk so short to ensure that we have this kind of interaction because I don't see it as something that I can actually talk over and over. I must be sincere. So yes, Dr. Isa, am I right?
Yes, you're right.
Yes, thank you. Yes, please.
Thank you very much, Dr. Lugman, for the presentation. It really helped. I
Thank
would
you.
like to find out if you have an idea or touching on aspects on how to find collaborators like sponsors or research partners who can also invest.
Okay. Are you talking about funding, or you mean
Funding, yeah,
collaborate? Okay.
funding.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes.
Mm.
Yes. Thank you. Yes. That's another area, really. Like I said, I may not be able to touch on everything, but yes, I believe questions will bring up some things. There are different ways by which research funding could come. Of course, you could do it, yes, and that is why I ensure that I stressed and mentioned project at some point, not just a research paper, even project. And at a point, I also mentioned collaboration between academics and industries. Yes, funding body really that will be properly addressed by a workshop on grantmanship. And if you are fortunate to be invited by somebody writing a grant, then it's fine. You can collaborate with such. I've been invited to collaborate on grant writing a couple of times by colleagues. I've also invited colleagues to add points to my grant write-up. Um, there is also this possibility of people already attracted a grant, they are working on it, and then they realize there is an area they need expertise on. They can bring you on board if their grant policy allows it, that they can have additional collaborators or additional investigators on the grants, yeah, they can invite you on it. It is also possible that I must say this, that sometimes the major contribution of a researcher to a work or project could be provision of fund. It could be provision of fund. If I put together a group of investigators to work on a project and I'm the one putting down the fund, that is my sole contribution to the work. Of course, there is no way I will put down fund and then you will finish the work without me looking through the result and also assenting to it, without me also having some ideas about what the result has addressed or not, and then also looking at the writing if we are going to publish the paper either as an article or if we are going to just make a report, a technical report. So at the end of the day, I'm making input to the writing, perhaps so little compared to the rest of you. But if I'm the sole financier of the work, I'm also a collaborator in that regard, so I've contributed. So yes, it's possible that a collaborator will come in the form of a funder. And so how do we get those? Yes, all those areas that I've mentioned are still the possible ways by which we can get them. And don't limit your search to the academics only. For funding, you get most of such from the industries, and so you should actually explore industries if you want to get a financier for your project. Dr. Isa, I don't know if that captured the question.
No, thank you very much. That was quite helpful.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, I would prefer we have further interaction. I will also invite you to even make further contribution to the work, to the talk, really, if you feel there's an area I've not touched on, but you've got an experience in that regard, that in the course of your professional career, you've got idea on this kind of thing, collaboration, okay, the experience you've had, good or bad or ugly, or the thing, okay, you want to share with us, please feel free, so that we can make this interactive before we end the session. Thank you. Okay, this is Dr. Noni. Okay, the hand came up and then went back.
Yes, sorry, I double pressed. I wonder if you maybe covered this. I had a bit of signal issues, but what do you do if you encounter issues with the person that you're collaborating with and it doesn't look like it's going to be fruitful anymore, but you've invested a lot of time and effort, but the relationship is just not working further down the line?
Yeah, I expected this to come up. Yes, because I've mentioned it over and over, that we've got to trust the people and we've got to respect them. But yes, it's a possibility. I must also say that it is not all relationship that could be fruitful, but then it's always a risk. We have to first of all venture into it in order to know whether it's going to be fruitful or not. It's just one of those things. So if we invest in it, it will be an experience. Eventually, we are not getting so much from it. Yes, it's just like research itself. Before you embark on the research, you may not really know in definitive what you are going to get out of it. You have ventured into the research, you have worked tirelessly in the lab, and then it's not working. You are not getting results. Like I always tell my students that I've cried alone in the lab overnight. When you ventured into the work, the equipment was working, you are getting results, you are so happy, 12 a.m., 1 a.m. in the midnight, and suddenly something went wrong and it's no longer working. Will you say all you have done from 6 p.m. to 2 a.m. was not good? Of course, you got some results. But then suddenly something went wrong. And then I started crying in the lab. And I'm like, oh my God, what is happening to me? And then I looked for everything possible that could be wrong. I couldn't get. Sometimes it will start working again. I wouldn't know what I've done right. And then it will go back not working again. And then one day I actually discovered what was wrong. And these days, when I tell my students working in the lab, when they are having the same challenge, I just tell them, go and change ABC. They will go back and change it and then come back to me that, oh, it has worked. How did you know it's the thing? I will just laugh that these people don't understand anything. I have cried overnight alone in the lab because of this thing. And now you're asking me, how did I know that is the thing you should change? Well, anyway, you are lucky. I have provided that answer already. So that is the thing, that you have spent such a time and it's not bringing the result immediately does not mean that you are not going to utilize the experience in some other relationship or in some other collaboration. So let's just take it as one of those things that we have to experience in the course of the journey. And it is still a plus, really, not a minus. It's unfortunate we don't get what we desire from it, but it's still a plus because it is an experience. So it's a possibility, Dr. Nona. Noni, sorry. Thank you. Oh, yes. Any other contribution, question, comment, suggestion? Okay, Mr. Intuli, we are still within the time, right?
Yes, doctor. We still have about 30 minutes remaining.
All right. Okay. Thank you.
So you
Oh,
can
yes.
continue taking some questions.
All right. Thank you. Dr. Adewi, please.
Thank you very much, sir. Just want to appreciate you and appreciate
Thank you.
the stuff you dished out for us.
Thank you, Doc.
Sir, I want to know how much conference attendance could assist, particularly for just upcoming researchers. What and what needs to be prepared, particularly during conferences? Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Adewi. Yes, like I mentioned, the first thing is I always encourage you as much as possible when you see conference in your field. Could be professional bodies, could be faculties, and so on and so forth. And therefore to apply to attend the conference, and therefore to submit a paper to present at the conference. Then before you go to the conference, there is one thing I always advise to do. After you have secured the position at that conference, sit down with the book of abstract, go through the book of abstract, whether it was shared before or ahead of the conference, or it was shared just at the registration desk. Of course, you are going to have the first day of registration, and so you are going to have some hours overnight at your hotel room. Go through the abstract. Who are the people I would like to listen to? Mark them out. Identify that session. It could be parallel sessions. Where is the room and at what time? And so those are the ones you will make sure you attend. You are not going to miss those because those are the people you have identified as your potential collaborators. It's not everybody that come to conference that will be working in your own areas of interest. And so identify those ones that are in the area of interest, listen to them talking. Then after the talk, ask questions if possible. If it's not possible immediately, interact with them over at tea break, or if there is a lunch break or something. Exchange contact with them. Let them also know what you are doing. Let them know the area of strength. I always say this, that bring out the selling point in your own too, because you must bring something to the table. You don't want it to look like it's just, you just want to use that person. Of course, there are areas whereby it will just be the collaborator that will be championing the team. But then you will also have your own input. So if you are the one conceiving the research idea and you just need that fellow as an experienced researcher to contribute to it, your research idea alone is a contribution. It is a very good one. And I'm sure that experienced researcher will be very, very ready to assist you in executing that idea. If it is an idea that is coming from your collaborator or that particular person, let the person know what you can do to add value to the idea that the person is conceiving. So in doing all this at conferences, you are going to begin to build network. And like I said, when you have the network, it doesn't also imply that it is everybody within your network that will be useful. You keep some of them just for keeping for some time and see, okay, maybe it's not yet relevant, maybe it's not yet useful, maybe one day I will need him or her. Just keep them. Once in a while, check on them with email or whatever. And then you begin to have what I can describe as personal boardroom within the network. That is even a closer or a smaller closet of people. That will be your personal boardroom. Those are the people that almost every time you will have something to do with them. And then you realize that, okay, in the larger network, there are actually people that are redundant. You can begin to disengage with those ones, while then you are getting more people into the boardroom. So at conferences, always make sure that you talk to people. Identify them based on the book of abstract. Identify the talk you want to listen to ahead of time so that you don't waste the precious time just being at the conference and jumping from one room to another, and then you don't have a tangible connection even at the conference. So that is the way to go, Dr. Adewi. Thank you. I hope that captures the question properly. If you feel there is any area I've not touched on, please let me know. Yes, Dr. Adewi.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. It's okay. Thank you.
All right, thanks.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other question, comments, suggestion, or addition to this talk? Okay. It appears actually 1 hour was what some of our people planned for the workshop. So people are leaving. I can see that. Okay. Subon, thank you for this valuable presentation. I found it very useful. My apologies, but I have to leave for another meeting now. Yes, thank you. Priscilla said thank you. Thanks for the valuable presentation. Also attending another meeting. Okay, thank you, Priscilla. So and I think a few other people have left, probably for a meeting or so too. Dr. Mugaza, thank you for the insightful presentation. Okay, thank you, Doc. Okay, the lady is saying this presentation was very informative and I appreciate it. It is very valuable. Thank you, the lady. Okay. Okay, I will allow like 2 more minutes for if we are going to get. Oh, there's a postdoc meeting for 12. Okay. Okay, so probably that is why people are leaving. Mr. Antuli.
Yes, doctor.
Yes. Yes. Thank you. Thank
I,
you for being there.
yeah,
Yes, I just got a hint from Dr. Abib Adewi
yeah.
that there's a postdoc
So,
meeting for 12, and apparently some of our colleagues are leaving for meeting.
yes,
Yeah,
yes, I can see that.
it has actually been a very interactive one, and I enjoyed some of the
Yeah,
questions that came up.
it's been. Doctor,
So
just out of curiosity, like, is there
yes, please.
any contract that two parties can sign before collaborating?
Well, I must say I've not really signed anything in collaborating with people.
Oh,
I'm not aware of such. Such collaboration probably will be between academic and industry. It could be a kind of memorandum of understanding or memorandum of agreement. So
oh,
if
okay.
If so, yeah, if such happen, yes, it could be between groups and not just between individuals. In my professional career, collaborating with people, I've not seen anybody asking me to sign something because I want to collaborate with them, and I've not asked anybody to sign something because they want to collaborate with me. I must also say that it doesn't really mean that it is all my collaborations that have been fruitful. I've also shared some experiences of non or unfruitful collaboration, just like Noni mentioned the other time. But then it's an experience. It prepares me to do better in subsequent collaborations. But yeah, to answer your question simply, I'm not aware of such an agreement between individuals. But yes, there could be agreements between organizations or institutions. Thank you.
Oh, okay, doctor. So in case whereby like something goes wrong along the journey, so the individual can just decide to leave the the research collaboration without any issues.
Yes, you see, this is a profession. It's a career. Anybody that spoils his name or her name in the course of collaboration knows what is losing. You see, the community is like a closet, so we know ourselves. So if I've done something to wrong somebody else, then I realize that people tend to drift away from me. It is also possible that because some people said they are weary of collaborating with people, it could be trust issue. You know, I've seen people that will be very, very careful of sharing their own data or idea with you. They will think you are going to steal it. But you see, in the profession, we have a way of addressing those. If I share a part of my manuscript with you and you went ahead, develop it and publish it without my knowledge, I can address it. I go to the editor, to the journal, and then it becomes an official thing to address, and that's going to spoil that person's name, the reputation. So imagine somebody that has been going through schooling from primary through high school, through university, first degree, second degree, PhD, postdoc, and all that, and then you've built reputation over time. I don't think anybody just want to come up and say he wants to soil that reputation. But yes, if we have such, in which case we've been having really, there are always ways to address it, and they have lost greatly in the process. So you can retract that particular article, you retract it, that author could be blacklisted and so on and so forth. And it's going to be a great loss to that individual. So we have ways of addressing those. But then it doesn't mean that in starting up a new collaboration, that is the first thing we'll be bringing on board. No. We allow the process to run its course, and if anything goes wrong, then we address it professionally. So that's the idea.
Thank you so much, doctor. I think I'm answered because like I
Okay.
was going there, like what are the legal actions that can be taken if now the agreement has been broken? So yeah, I think you have answered me now.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Anthony. Okay, so colleagues, I want to sincerely thank you once again for attending this session. I look forward to having more interactive, more interesting, more impactful session with you in the nearest future. And please, if there is anything you feel you would like me to shed more light on, do not hesitate to contact the RCD, and I believe the message will get to me, and I'm going to attend to it appropriately and accordingly. Thank you once again. Have a blessed day. Bye bye. Mr. Intuli?
Thank you so much, doctor. Thank you to everyone who joined the session today. Remember, the session is recorded and the presentation will be uploaded 24 hours after the session, and as well as the recording by tomorrow. It will be available on Blackboard. As Doctor has mentioned, if you have any questions for him, like you can direct those questions via RCP, and we will take those questions to him, and he will respond to you directly. Uh, Other sessions are next month, I think, starting from the 11th of April. So we will keep you posted for more sessions like this. Hope we will be with you soon, Dr. Lapman, again for another session.
All right.
Thank you so
All
much,
right,
everyone.
Mr. Anthony. Thank you, everyone. Bye bye.
Yes, yes, Doctor. We will let you know in due time.
All right. Okay. Bye.
Thank you.